kindly just give me your attention for a few minutes so that I can make a few remarks. Good afternoon, everyone, our distinguished guests, partners, medical professionals, counselors, spiritual leaders, members of the media, volunteers, friends of Graceworld Foundation, and every person gathered here today. Thank you so much for being here. Today is more than an event. Today is a conversation about humanity. Today is a conversation about invisible wounds. And today is a reminder that healing is possible. Before I speak about mental health, allow me to briefly speak about Graceworld Foundation, because this foundation was not born from theory, branding, or boardroom conversations. Graceworld Foundation was born from lived realities. It was born from witnessing what poverty, rejection, trauma, emotional exhaustion, hopelessness, cyberbullying, and silent suffering can do to human beings. Those are just examples of the things that we go through during our lifetime. The foundation was born from understanding what it means to be a hungry child, and the overlooked child, emotionally exhausted person, the person smiling publicly while silently breaking privately. And maybe that is why this vision is also very personal to me, because I know what it means to continue functioning while emotionally tired, carrying pressure while still expected to remain strong, because society has become uncomfortable with becoming vulnerable. And that is the painful reality in this. Many people today are surviving emotionally, but not truly living. And especially our generation. Gen Zs are very overwhelmed. Millennials are burnt. And even Generation Alpha is growing up in a world of pressure, comparison, anxiety, broken homes, digital addiction, unrealistic expectations from parents and the peers, emotional confusion, because you don't even, sometimes the kind of things we are reading, we're even doubting our identity. It's very, 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 very unfortunate that a child is born and before they get to 10 years, they're even wondering what their gender is. Such is the confusion. We are raising children who know how to use technology before they understand their emotional safety. Young people today are fighting battles many adults are not even able to recognize. Na wengine wanaonekana sawa sana online kabisa, lakini offline wanavujika pole and very consistently. We are living in a generation where people are connected very digitally, but are disconnected completely and emotionally. And so people are visible, but unseen personally. People are posting happiness online, while silently crying inside. Now the truth is that when you talk about mental health, people think that you are insane. People think umechizi. That is why this conversation, we must have it today and continuously so that you can raise awareness about mental health. This month is the month of mental health globally, and Graceworld Foundation is standing in the front line to raise awareness so that we can save lives for the sake of our communities. Mental health sometimes is burnout issues, sometimes it's trauma, sometimes it's pressure, sometimes it's loneliness, sometimes it's depression and grief. But how do we identify these things? I know our panelists here who are very experienced are going to unpack that matter for us. And many people are suffering silent because solely the society still remains emotionless. It is shameful to talk about mental health. You feel like you just have to keep quiet because people think, you cannot take control of your life. Kwa nini huwezi take control of your life? Kama malaria inaweza kuweka chini, hata mental health inaweza kuweka chini. Tell mwenzako hivyo. Ambia mwenzako kama ni malaria inaweza kuweka chini. Sikusikii, kama malaria inaweza kuweka chini, mental health issue inaweza kuweka chini pia. And so that's why we have to take mental health very seriously. Mtu ana break down, then anaambiwa kuwa strong. Wengine wako worse, you know, wachana na ma feelings. Wewe tu huwezi omba, you know. Kuna vitu you must know how to take practical steps to make sure that you heal yourself. And because of that, to sink into depression. People have sunk into silence. People are committing suicide because they feel they don't have a safe space to speak about how they are feeling. Graceworld Foundation is actually speaking up publicly and telling people, here you can safely speak about your issues. In the clap of Graceworld Foundation. Let's appreciate Graceworld Foundation. According to the World Health Organization, depression and anxiety are among the leading causes of illness globally. Leading causes of illness globally. Why? Because when you have a mental health issues, one thing leads to another one leads to another. And by the end of the day, you hear somebody say, I have a migraine. Ninatibiwa migraine. Nimeenda nikaambiwa my kidney is not working. It didn't start there. Mwambie ikuanza hapo. Mwambie ikuanza hapo. Haikuanza hapo. Ilianza na wound yenye haikuwa healed. Ilianza na disappointment. Wengine hata you know we are sick because at a time like this 20 years ago I was heartbroken. And that heartbreak led to one thing. And that other thing led to another. And that other thing led to... Kwani amwelewi? Sinaongea ukweli? True or not true? Kwani ama si ukweli? Kwani ama si ukweli? So we must raise our voices and say no to mental health issues. No to being ashamed of speaking publicly about mental health issues. Because if we take control of what is happening in our minds, then we can take control of what is happening in our lives physically. Yes, clap for God for that. Today is why today not only about awareness, but it's about action. We did mental health awareness work, free medical camp, counseling support is happening, wellness services is happening, and later on food distribution is happening because people need support. They need dignity, they need safe spaces, and they need a community that understands their issues holistically. And let me say this, very respectively but honestly, I'm speaking to churches right now. Because churches sometimes could be the very, very place that people get wounded. And everybody kept quiet. Did everybody keep quiet? Churches, we need to speak very, very honestly. Organizations that are religious have to treat mental health issue also seriously. Sometimes people who are very spiritually active are the ones that are emotionally drowning. Kweli ama si kweli? Kweli ama si kweli? Sometimes people are praying but silently depressed. Sometimes people are serving while emotionally exhausted, and sometimes people do not need condemnation or another, you know, omba tena, fanya hivi, toa sadaka, fanya hivi ndio uweze kupona. Sometimes it takes somebody to take courage and talk to somebody. I am going through this issue. Go and talk to a therapist. I went through this. I went through this. I saw this. I feel this. And it is from there you even know how to pray better. Clap for Jesus. Sometimes it takes you to tell somebody, are you okay? So we are launching a movement that says no one should suffer invisibly, no one should heal alone, and no life is beyond restoration. I want to speak very boldly and say that no matter what you've gone through, either through mental challenges in life that have caused some breakdown in your life, there is hope for restoration. And that is why Graceworld Foundation exists, to bring this to reality. Clap for Jesus. Let's appreciate Graceworld Foundation. And so everyone who is struggling, overwhelmed and everything, you are not weak because you're hurting, you are just human. And healing does not make you a less strong person. As we now transition to our panel discussion, I encourage us to listen not only with our ears, but with our humanity. May this conversation challenge us. May this conversation heal us. May this conversation educate us. And remind us that healthier communities begin when people finally feel safe enough feel safe enough to heal honestly, speak about their matters very confidently, and be bold when they come out and say, I need help, and I know you can help me. Thank you to all our partners, our counselors, medical teams, volunteers, sponsors, speakers, everybody, everyone of goodwill who has come out today and who is a friend of Graceworld Foundation for the purposes of this mission. And thank you for choosing to stand for healing, to stand for hope, and to stand for humanity. My name is Dr. Princess Mutisia, the Executive Director at Graceworld Foundation, and I'm so honored to have you in this building today. God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much.